Hey guys, what's up? So Elon Musk, Donald Trump, both of them are kind of like best buds right now. If you've been paying attention, you know they've been promoting each other, building each other up, inviting each other to each other's platforms. So a lot of good vibes right now between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. So Trump is praising SpaceX the CEO at the Atlanta campaign rally. He says, "I want to thank a man named Elon Musk." Y'all check out this clip.
Golden time, and I want to thank a man named Elon Musk because he did a big favor. He did. You know, when I was down here early on, I was down and we were with the folks, and they were going, "Sir, we need Starlink." I said, "What the hell is Starlink?" He said, "Do you know Elon Musk? It's the most incredible thing," because especially in North Carolina, they had no communication whatsoever. They were just right there. They were just wiped out, and they had no communication. And it's hard to get. It's hard to get. So I called up Elon, and he endorsed me. He gave me the greatest endorsement. And how about that rocket the way it came in yesterday? Was that crazy?
That was crazy, guys.
Was that crazy? You know, I was on the phone with somebody, and I have the television on, no sound or anything. And I'm looking at the screen, but I'm talking to somebody. I guess couldn't have been that interesting a person, and I'm watching the screen, and this big monster, the thing's like 20 stories tall, and it's coming down, the fire's pouring out of it from all angles. And I say, I don't know, could you hold on a minute? There's something happening on television. I've never seen anything like this, Brandon.
No one's ever seen anything like that.
Beach. Does everybody know Brandon? Great. Thank you, Brandon. What a good patriot he is. But I said, I've never seen anything like this. So it's coming down, down, down. And I said, oh, man, it's going to be terrible. It's going to hit the gantry or whatever they call it. It's going to hit it. It's going to knock it over a Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's going to knock it over. It's going to knock it on its ass like you knock your competitors on their ass, Marjorie. Right? And she does. She is highly respected, let me tell you. Smart. So it's coming down, and I didn't like the angle. I said, come on, baby. And then all of a sudden, you see that fire pouring from the right side. It straightens up. Boom. I mean, the thing. And I said, that was amazing. And I forgot the guy that was on the phone. He was, you know, they have a certain respect. We're leading everybody, so they hold on forever. You know, they would have held on for Doug. They would have held on for an hour, but I just totally forgot because I've never seen anything like this. So Elon, I said, Elon, could you do me a favor? Starlink, yes. What would you like about it? I said, they need hundreds of them in North Carolina and also in Georgia. They really want them in Georgia too because they lost their wires. They're down. And I'm talking to him, and as I'm talking, I get a call from somebody in North Carolina. Thank you for the Starlink. And I said, how the hell did you do that? Oh, it's true.
That's crazy.
Elon. He's different. No, he's different. And I said, Elon, I don't know what Starlink is, but they like it. They like it. But no, it was sort of funny because I'm on the phone and it's all done. And
Guys, I don't know if y'all know anyone that uses Starlink. My parents live out in the middle of nowhere. They got Starlink. Man, their internet is unlike any internet I've ever seen in that rural of an area. It's incredible what Starlink's able to do. Fastest satellite internet redefines what satellite internet is. If you know about Starlink, if maybe you use Starlink, whatever, just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Starlink. I personally, big fan. I think it's an incredible achievement. It sets a new bar for what satellite internet especially is. But anyway, all right, let's continue on.
Tell you what, it got here, and it was delayed once it got here. It was bad things happened. You know, that's happened with a lot of people, but ultimately they got it. And I said, how does it compare to the lines? They said it's better. And I mean, the guy just is a fantastic guy. So we want to thank him for his big endorsement, and he really does. You know where he is right now? He's in Pennsylvania campaigning for me. Is that right?
Wow.
He's in Pennsylvania campaigning. And we were in Butler, Pennsylvania, honoring Corey, the firefighter who lost his life. Two other good guys, by the way, two other very good guys. but he lost his life. And Elon was there, and he wore the black hat. I did not know we had a black hat. It's black with black letters, okay? And he called it Dark MAGA. And he hasn't taken it off. He loves that hat. No, but we want to thank him. He's been really great. He's a great patriot. He's a brilliant guy, too. I mean, who could? I said, does anybody else do that with rockets? Because I've been watching this stuff for a long time. Byron, have you ever seen that before? I said, can the Russians do it? No. Can NASA do it? No. Can anybody do it? No, only me. I said, keep it going, man. That's pretty cool. It's the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
Absolutely incredible.
Pretty cool. You know, we got to protect our brilliant people. We got to remember that. There aren't too many brilliant people around. Not too many, right, Marjorie? Marjorie knows better than anybody. There aren't too many. Oh, your lieutenant governor's right there. Look at this. We have big power, huh? Thank you, Bert. With your vote, we will create millions of new, great-paying jobs. Wages will soar. Your taxes are going to fall. You saw that. Your net worth will skyrocket. America will be confident again. You know, America has lost its confidence. It's a terrible thing to say. I said it one time, and I said, you know, it's actually true, but it's going to come back very quickly. America will be respected again. The American people will be optimistic again, and you will be proud of the life and the future you are going to give and giving to your children. Our legacy will be nothing less than the rebirth of the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream anymore. You don't hear about we used to hear about the American dream. My father used to say, you want to live the American dream, son. And I said, what's the American dream, Dad? And I didn't quite make it. I wanted to make it. No, I could have the American dream. You know what? I had the American dream. Did I need this? But I wouldn't swap it. I wouldn't swap it, Byron. I was saying.
All right. So a lot going on there, but I think it's actually incredible. If you haven't seen that clip yet, guys, go check it out where Elon Musk is, his team, his company SpaceX is landing that supermassive rocket, catching it like with the bars. Absolutely insane, incredible. Never been done before. They did it, what, was it yesterday? Or at least yesterday is when I saw the clips coming out. It was either yesterday or the day before. Absolutely, like, incredible, the achievements that Elon Musk is making at SpaceX. And again, Trump just praising him like nobody's business. Dude, Elon Musk out there campaigning. Did you think 5 years ago you'd ever see an Elon Musk that was going to be on the campaign trail? I just didn't see it. Didn't think it was going to happen. They're going to have to write a new chapter in Elon Musk's book because guy's crazy. All right. Let's look at Mike Collins. Mike Collins tears into Kamala Harris's campaign platform. He says, quote, they want to run on lies, smears, hate. Guy's definitely not a Kamala fan. Y'all check out this video.
Hello, Georgia. Y'all, I'm Mike Collins, Congressman of Georgia's 10th District. I'm just a good old boy that made his living in the trucking business.
A good old boy.
Any truckers out there? I know we got one over there. Y'all, like Trump, I spent the majority of my career in the private sector. But I want y'all to know something I'm extremely proud of. I bought my ticket on the Trump train long before he was a nominee in 2016. And y'all, I've been shoveling coal nonstop ever since.
Oh, man.
And after 9 years and one heck of a ride, man, you couldn't drag me off the train for these last 21 days for nothing. Heck, I'll even get out and push if I have to. And everyone in this building needs to be in the same mindset. Because you know what time it is? It's time to vote. So do not, under any circumstances, let anything get between you and voting. I don't care if you're a long-haul trucker, a long-distance runner, or an all-night hunter. If you didn't go vote today, you better go vote tomorrow. And y'all, after you go vote, I want you to do something for me. Post it on social media. Tell everyone to get out and do the same because, y'all, we've worked too hard to come up short. So you got to prioritize this by doing your part. Because I want you to know something, y'all. Our country's crying to get back to doing the number one thing that Donald Trump said you never get tired of doing. That's winning. That's right. I mean, buying cars, going on vacations, buying houses. Every American, black, brown, white, 2 college degrees, no degrees. Donald Trump's economy lifted all boats. Everybody was doing better than they're doing now.
That's true.
But you see, the other side, they don't want to run on issues. Nah, I mean, with liberal policies as bad as Kamala Harris, who would? See, they want to run on lies, smears, hate. The media and the left, y'all, they've spent 10 years trying to brainwash Americans into hating Donald Trump, a man who literally took a bullet for this country. And by the way, Trump's not running against Kamala Harris, y'all. She's running against a regime, a socialistic, big government, control everything about you, woke regime.
And guys, just to interrupt real quick right here, 19 days until Election Day. So I don't know if it's too late for you to register to vote or not, but if it's not, go get registered, guys, because 19 days and we are going to elect Donald Trump as president again. So let's make it happen. And guys, leave a like on this video. Helps out my channel. I really appreciate all y'all. And subscribe for more videos like this. All right, let's continue on and hear what Mike Collins has to say.
And that regime hates Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you something. Donald Trump loves our country a whole lot more than they hate him.
That was a good line right there.
Now, I want to quickly tell you something about Congress, because right now we've got a Republican majority in Congress. It's made up of around 65% America First Republicans. And y'all, I'm spending my time and my money right now between now and November to make sure that we grow that number. So when we get our captain back on the ship, he's going to have the largest majority of America First members in Congress that we have ever had. Y'all, we're going to secure that border. We're going to stop American families from losing sons and daughters to these illegal, that's right, you heard me, these illegal aliens that are invading our country. We're going to stop the gangs. We're going to stop the fentanyl. We're going to stop the sex trafficking, everything that outsiders, invaders are doing to destroy America. We're going to stop the destruction of our country with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance in the White House and an America First Congress that's going to have his back this time. You know what? I think we ought to put some folks on notice real quick. You're in this country illegally. Pack your bags. You're going home come January.
Man.
Y'all, I want to close with this, because there is nothing more important than you getting out and voting early and getting people you know to go and vote early for Donald Trump. Because, y'all, we got to win this dad-blank thing so big that they can't rig it this time. So as the congressman that represents the Georgia Bulldogs, I'm asking you to hunker down, you hairy dogs, for the next 21 days and do your part. You do that, we'll put Donald Trump in the White House, and by God, we'll take our country back.
All right, guys. So that was Mike Collins again, just really going after Kamala Harris, building up Trump, really standing behind a lot of Trump's policies, and not worried about being too politically correct there in that speech as he was going to town, not beating around the bush on any of the issues. Want to know what you think about his comments there? So leave a comment down below. Let me know, guys. Did he go too far? Was he right on line? What did you like? What did you not like about Mike Collins and his little speech that he did there? Again, that big statement, speaking of Kamala Harris, about her platform, they want to run on lies, smears, and hate. And honestly, you do see a lot of that from Kamala Harris's her campaign rallies. We looked at a video in yesterday's episode where she was just, going after Donald Trump. He's a fascist. He's like all kinds of just things. He wants to destroy the Constitution. He wants to literally get rid of the Constitution of the United States. Those were some of the things that Kamala Harris was saying at her campaign. Again, just insane things. All right. A North Carolina woman tells J.D. Vance, quote, FEMA was nowhere to be found the first week and has done almost nothing in regards to the hurricanes. Let's check out this video together.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So the first one I have here is we have Donica Hudson. She's from North Carolina, so she has a question for you.
Okay, Senator Vance. My family and I were trapped for 5 days living the nightmare of Hurricane Helene.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate it. FEMA was nowhere to be found the first week and has done almost nothing. So my question is, what will the Trump-Vance administration do to restructure FEMA and to rebuild Western North Carolina?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I'm sorry that it happened, and I'm sorry, most importantly, that your government didn't do its job in response to it. Because what part of, I guess you're from the western part of North Carolina? So one of the things that if you grew up in the Appalachian part of our country, whether in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, anywhere else, is you often feel like your government doesn't care about you. And unfortunately, after the hurricane, I think that region of the world was really neglected and really left behind by the people who should have done the most to look out for these innocent victims. And I hate to say it, but I actually think that there would have been less loss of life if the government had responded more quickly. And what do we need to do to restructure FEMA? I actually think this one is pretty straightforward. You've just got to fire the present leadership and tell FEMA to focus on American citizens and not the illegal migrant issue. But I think there's a second part of this, and it goes to the rebuilding effort. And first of all, I promise, I look you in the eye and I promise you that if we win, and I think we're going to win, by the way, I think we're going to win Pennsylvania, we're going to win the whole country. But I promise you, I'll never forget where I came from, and I'll never forget that we have a responsibility to help you all rebuild. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about your story, though I understand I'm not going to get the full picture up here. But the other thing is, when you have a crisis like this, there are some things that FEMA is just not equipped for. And so I criticize FEMA for focusing too much on the illegal immigrant problem, not enough on American citizens. But let's be honest, this was really a Biden and Kamala Harris shortcoming when as soon as the rivers started to swell like they did, the 82nd Airborne should have been in Western North Carolina the next minute. That is what really screwed up. And if you think about all the bureaucracy of the federal government, right, you've got 8 different agencies that are supposed to do 8 different things. You need somebody who is in control, whose only job is to save as many lives as possible. And the fact that it took us 6-7 days before that was really possible or that was happening in North Carolina, I hate to say it, I think that there was a lot of loss of life that wouldn't have otherwise happened and just a lot of human suffering that we've got to do a better job of preventing next time.
Yeah. That's, guys, honestly, the biggest failure was that they made this excuse because we don't have enough money to help the people in North Carolina, the people in Tennessee. We don't have enough money. Wait, what about all this money we're spending on these illegal immigrants that are coming in? That's a different bucket. It's a different bucket. We can't transfer funds from that bucket to this bucket. We have plenty of money if you're not a U.S. citizen. But if you've been here your whole life, if you've been pouring into this country, they don't have enough money. As it's absolutely a shame and an embarrassment that we aren't able to help our own people when we can help everyone else around the entire globe. Okay. At the same town hall, J.D. Vance is asked directly about his past opposition to Donald Trump. Even though we've heard him explain this before, he gives a fresh perspective in this clip. Y'all check it out with me.
Here we are.
So what are the major differences that have happened in the last 3 months since being announced as
Yeah, what has that been like, huh?
Well, there's so much I could talk about, but of course, first of all, we're proud of these guys and we're very grateful to them. But having a Secret Service detail is really weird. And, I haven't driven a car in 3 months, which my wife is probably happy about because I have a bit of a lead foot. And I think all the moms on the roads out there are probably happy that J.D. Vance has not been on the road the last few months. But, it's so unusual because if you think about it, you show up to the grocery store and there are like 15 guys surrounding you with the little things in their ear. So even if somebody has no idea who you are, they start to wonder, well, somebody has to be here because all these Secret Service agents are bouncing around. So there's no anonymity anymore. And, it's one of the things that just comes along with the territory. But look, we're having a really good time. I mean, what's different about, running for the Senate than running for vice president? I ran for the Senate for the first time a couple of years ago, is, I joke that when I was running for the Senate, you ride around the back of a used Subaru that was owned by one of my staff members. And now I ride around a 737, right? So it's it's a little more comfortable than it was, but it's also what's really cool. And this is partially just because, life happens, and we had our third baby about 4 months before the Republican primary when I was running for Senate. This time the kids, they're 2, they're 4, they're 7, and they can kind of come with us, and they're part of the journey a little bit. And so that's just it's a really cool thing to see the country from the perspective of a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Yeah. And it's been a very, very nice thing. It's been a great family adventure for all of us.
So I really liked this story. We were together on the Tucker tour, that you were talking about how you may have had to cancel on Tucker because you got sick.
You didn't have any carnivals before you came here, right?
No, not today. No, but that was a tough day. So that was in Hershey, PA, and we're not too far from Hershey, right?
No.
So yeah, I again, because you're surrounded by Secret Service and everybody knows who I am now. And so whenever I do something, there are like 10 separate iPhone cameras that are trained on me, right? And my kid, my 7-year-old, I'm like, all right, I really want you to go on a roller coaster with me at Hershey Park. And he goes, okay, but you have to go on one of these ridiculous spinny rides afterwards. And I do the roller coaster. It's great. And then we get on the spinny ride. And I just, about 2 seconds in, I think to myself, I'm going to throw up all over myself. And it was like going so fast that, and I could see these iPhone cameras from people in the, outside of the ride. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to look, when I throw up, it's gonna look like one of these old sprinklers, chook, 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 chook. And it's gonna be captured on camera for the entire internet to see. And luckily I held together. I think the Secret Service may have actually stopped the ride a few seconds early because they could see that I was really not doing well. But whatever revenge my son, if he ever wanted to get revenge on me, he got it, that 2-minute spinny ride. But look, but it goes to show, that was a very miserable 2-minute spin ride. But my son, where else do you get to go to all these different theme parks and see all these different parts of the country? And it's just a very, very
great
cool
opportunity to have your children with you.
It really is.
Guys, that's something you have to respect. Like, if you've never been at that level of fame where you constantly have to watch what you do, how you look, because you constantly have cameras like trained on you from every single angle. It just gives you a new appreciation for those that are in the limelight, guys, because, or maybe even not limelight, maybe it's just spotlight, the harsh spotlight that everybody wants to be in until they're in it for a few weeks. And then you realize that you'll never have a private life again. And so, again, just appreciate all these leaders that are putting themselves out there and that are having to concern themselves on whether or not they're going to puke on the roller coaster because 15,000 cameras are focusing in on them. Anyway, All right, let's hear the rest of what they have to say here.
And again, you see it through their eyes, and they make little observations, right? Or like, we're in Traverse City, Michigan, and they're really into the cherries that we bring home from Traverse City, Michigan. Or we go to Hershey Park, and they're really into, like they have all these Reese-themed treats at Hershey. It's just kids notice stuff that I think you don't notice if you're just a 40-year-old guy.
Right.
And I think that noticing has been a really fun part of this.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well, and your wife must be just, wow. I mean, she's super mama. How is she
really
handling it?
She really is. I mean, my wife is just this amazing person. And she quit her job when Trump asked me to become his running mate. But she's, a very brilliant and very accomplished corporate litigator. And she's like, look, if we're going to do this, then I'm going to make this as easy on the kids as possible. And I'm going to come around and travel with you as much as possible, right? Like, if we're going to do this, let's make it a family adventure. I will tell you a story. One of the first times that the president actually met my wife, the first times they had really talked in any great detail, we were actually throwing a fundraiser for him. And the president sort of greets Usha and gives her a big hug. Oh, you're so beautiful. I'm so glad to see you. And he's, those of us who know him know he's a very engaging guy, despite what the media tells you about him. He's actually just a very warm and normal person. And he asks her what she thinks about me being involved in politics. And she gives, if anybody knows my wife, it's like the perfect Usha answer. It's a very diplomatic answer. And she's like, well, sir, my husband really loves public service. We love the state of Ohio. And I'm just really thrilled to be able to help him out where I can. And Trump looks at her and goes, yeah, my wife hates it too.
I'm so glad you brought up President
honesty.
But that's what I love about Trump. Like, Trump finds the real truth in something, and whether you want him to say it or not, he just points his finger right at it.
So I'm glad you brought him up, because a lot of people have brought up the fact that you are not a big fan of President Trump.
Sure.
And that you are very vocal
very well
about it. So, the big thing I think that moms would like to know is, what changed?
Yeah, well, a lot changed. I mean, one, I become a father, right? So my first was born in 2017, and then our second a couple years later, our third a couple years after that. And I think you think about the country a little bit differently. I think, at least I did when I became a father. I took a slightly different perspective, maybe a little bit more protective, a little bit more worried about the future than I had been, even though life was going very well for us. I just think that,
Sure.
Becoming a dad changes your perspective like that. But I think really importantly is, there were a lot of predictions that were made about Donald Trump's 4 years in office. And I think for swing voters, people who are on the fence, there are a lot of predictions right now being made about Donald Trump. If he gets in office, all of these bad things will happen, right? That's what the media says. That's what the Democrats say. And a part of me, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's more important to be honest, I think, is I kind of bought into some of the lies in 2016. Well, and then he was president, and take-home pay was going up faster than it had in 40 years. Inflation was low. The border was secure. And remember, they all said Donald Trump was going to start World War III, and yet we had more peace around the globe than we had in a generation in this country. And you sort of like, okay.
Incredible.
And I really, politics is sort of, I think the incentives are all messed up in politics because, people don't want to admit that they changed their mind. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. And so there's this thing where you try to pretend, even though it's obvious that you screwed something up, you never want to admit it. I think it'd be much better if we had political leaders say, you know what? I thought this was going to happen. Something else actually happened. I was wrong. Like, it's okay to be humble and say I screwed something up. And I again, for a lot of voters who are still on the fence, I'd say the very same thing they're saying about Trump now, they said in 2015 and 2016. That's right. And I actually think that we're going to have an even bigger and even better presidential term because we've got, frankly, so many more big problems to solve now than we did even in 2016. So, look, basically, he did a hell of a job, and it's important to say I was wrong.
Yeah, I think
that's it, guys. He was wrong. And you know what? I was wrong, too. I wasn't really sure about Donald Trump at the beginning. In fact, I pushed back against him, made a lot of statements against him, made posts on Facebook, made posts on Twitter at the time. And now when I look back, I'm like, man, he won me over, guys, with the 4 years he was in office. Because it's not what Donald Trump says as much as it is what he does. And that's what people have to realize, that the left keeps complaining and they keep saying that this is what Donald Trump said. This is what oh, look, he said this. Oh, look, he said that. But they don't want to talk about what he's already done because it was good. It was fantastic. Notice, you won't see that. Every time Kamala Harris gives a speech, you're never going to see her talk about what Donald Trump has done, because what he has done is an incredible job. She'll only talk about what he's going to do and how he's going to wreck the country and how he's going to ruin, but she don't want to talk about those 4 years where everything was kind of under control and it was actually a stable time in American history. And now it's like, man, everything's gone crazy. But all right, guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. That's all for today. Leave a like. It really helps the channel. I appreciate everyone for watching all the way to this point in the video. And subscribe for more videos like this. I try to post an episode every single day. I'll see you all again tomorrow with another video. Peace.